Greetings and welcome to PJ's Kitchen. My name is Peter James from the website peterjamesx.com with the Babylon Report. Today we are looking at a subject that I think will be helpful to most people. The subject is the Book of Revelation and you. Now, first of all, I'd like to say that I am not saying that I am the only person who understands the Book of Revelation, because I am not. Neither am I saying that I understand the whole Book of Revelation, because I do not. Several years ago, we were clearly told by the eternal God that there were many things that He could not tell us all at once, simply because it would be too much for us to handle at one time, and we would be broken by it. And time has shown that this has been correct. We were stunned when we understood that the 400 plus translations of the Bible did a disservice to the eternal God. That was a big shock to us. Our understanding of Babylon, who Babylon was and how it operated, that was a shock to us. Revelation 12, with the understanding of the man-child, the woman and the remnant, as opposed to what the churches teach as the rapture, that was a shock to us. Our understanding of Jews who say they are Jews, but they are not Jews. So there are quite a lot of things. But having said that, the important things that we need to know, God deals with us on a need-to-know basis. You know, we understood also, which wasn't quite such a shock because it didn't directly affect us at the time, shortened days. That was a surprise to us. But as I say, God deals with us on a need-to-know basis. And if we need to know, He will let us know. And He said this, you know, anything He would do, He would let His servants know before He does it. The things that we don't know, we don't worry about. We just concern ourselves with that which we have been shown, because all of these things that we have been shown directly affects our lives. So we're just going to touch a little bit on the book of Revelation and how it actually affects you. If we look at Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1, it says, "The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him," that is to Jesus Christ, "to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John." Now, if you are a Bible reader, you would have read that many times, because we're told if we hear or listen to and read the book of Revelation, we'll get a blessing. But, you know, I'm asking you the question now. Can anybody just get up and read the book of Revelation and understand it? What do you think? Do you think that anybody could just... Well, it's a book, isn't it? Like any other book. You could just take it up, read it and understand it? I'd ask you another question. Do you think that the eternal God would actually fight against his church, which he declares to be his body? What do you think? Well, you see, we said there that this is the revelation of Jesus Christ to show unto his servants. It therefore follows, if you are not a servant of the Most High God, you will not understand the book of Revelation. And as I said earlier, the bits of it that we need to understand which affects our lives right now. So that's our first problem. We've got to ask, am I a servant of the Most High God? Referring to yourself. Now, somebody asked me very recently, just a few days ago, it says in verse 10, "I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, And this person said, why have we got to meet on the Lord's Day? Well, as I've done a whole video on this, the Lord's Day is not Sunday, the day of the Lord is not Sunday, and the entire book of Revelation is dealing, for the most part, with the long period referred to as the day of the Lord, the period of time when God intervenes in the affairs of man. Now, as we read down in chapter 1, we will see in verse 11, Christ says, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. What thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. So, this book is being addressed to the Church of God. I am not speaking about any man-made organization which has chosen to call itself the Church of God, but the literal Church of God which the eternal God has established. Now, these are people scattered all over the world in all sorts of groups, but they have been pulled out, coming out of Babylon, as God is getting all his people together. When you continue down, it explains to us that in verse 19, it says, write the things which thou hast seen. Now, somebody has made a comment on my videos telling me I have no idea what the book of Revelation is about. I don't realize it goes backwards and forwards and all sorts of things. Well, the reality is, as we have said before, Revelation 1:19 says, write the things which thou hast seen. So John the apostle had to do something. He had to write that which he had seen. And the things which are. So at the time he was writing, he was being told, these are the things as they are. And the things which shall be hereafter. So that's what the book of Revelation contains. The things which are, and the things which are hereafter. We'll deal with some of that a bit later. In verse 20 it says, the mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches. Now, this entire book is written to the 7 churches. Now, there are specific individual messages to the 7 churches, each one in Revelation chapter 2 and 3. And that's what we're going to focus on for the most part. Now, the first church is the church at Ephesus. So we have established that this is Christ speaking directly to his church. And these conditions that are mentioned are actually in existence in his church now. It was at the time of John, and it's now hereafter, and right up until the day of the Lord is completed.